I don't live in fear anymore. I don't ever feel rejected. He is my closest, dearest friend who is always with me, and that is Jesus. I was born in Long Beach, California, and it was just normal. We went to church when I was early on. We went to church and just a normal life, played with cousins, neighborhoods, nothing out of the ordinary. And then when I was in the 6th grade, my mother's behavior started to become erratic and abnormal, and she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. I just kind of took on that motherly role of trying to keep the house up and helping out as much as I could for my dad, which kind of led to being someone that felt she could kind of keep things together. Kind of leads you down a road of codependency in it, really, actually, which is probably why an alcoholic was so attracted to me, because then I could fix him. Got married, had lots of hopes and dreams for it to be good, but I knew my husband had a drinking problem somewhat when we got married, but once again, living along the beach, that's what people did. We partied. And as the years went by, we were married for 22 years, the abuse became more and more frequent. Verbal and emotional abuse was a daily, nightly situation, which just compounded the way that I felt about myself. It's part of Satan's ploy to wear us down and how we think of ourselves, and he uses other people. And the more my husband disliked himself, the more he wanted me to know how much I was disliked, I truly believe, and worthless. We were living in Huntington Beach, and it was a bad night in the home, and after a night of verbal and emotional abuse, and then my husband went to bed, and I had turned on the TV, and Billy Graham was on the TV. By the grace of God, and for some reason, well, it was God's reason, I listened, and he made the altar call that he does, for people, and I got down on my knees in our living room and accepted Christ. And then I got up and went, oh boy, now what do I do? So I went and grabbed my husband's Bible, which was an old King James, and thought, well, I'll read this in bed, and didn't know where to start. And all the these and the thous, and all I remember laying in bed thinking, I'm in trouble now, because I do not understand any of this. You think, oh, now I know God, things are going to get better. Well, they actually did not. They actually seemed like everything got worse. My marriage got worse, my husband's drinking got worse, my dad became very ill. I always knew that Christ was with me, and that if things were bad, I could go into my bedroom, I could lean up against the bedroom wall, and I could pray, and I could stand up, and I knew I wasn't alone, and I felt different. And luckily at that time, the church I was going to was developing a Celebrate Recovery program, and that just really is when things started to turn for me, and started to gain confidence in myself, that I had something to offer the world, that through all my difficult experiences. And God just used all those avenues that he placed before me to peel back the layers of hurt and resentment and bitterness, to reveal someone that could then go forward and love people. I think he's grieved by many of the things that have happened in my life. I know for a fact, that so much grieves God. And it's not the way he wanted life to be. He never wanted my mother to be mentally ill. He never wanted people to be alcoholics. He doesn't want people to be consumed by the things that consume them today. It grieves him. But the church can stand up and say, we can help you mend and help you realize that God was grieved by the things that came into your life. And I learned that it became a wonderful way to share what Christ has done in my life, that he took this broken woman who felt she didn't fit in anywhere and used the difficulties in my life to show me that I'm no different than everyone else, because everyone in life goes through difficulties. They may not be as similar as mine, but there isn't anybody out there that hasn't suffered some form of brokenness. And I think that's my greatest desire, is to see people in the church not be afraid to say, I need to talk to someone, to let them know what's going on, and know that they won't be judged or looked down upon. My life never ended up being what I had hoped it to be, but it is more than I could have ever hoped it could have been in Christ, and in Christ alone. My story is not like anyone else's, nor is anyone else's like mine. But we all have something that we can share that may resonate with someone. And the biggest thing is that Christ redeems broken lives. He redeems broken hearts, and he truly makes us new again. I am living proof that I am not who I was before I knew Christ. To him be all the glory. That's all I can say. To God be all the glory.